Good afternoon, you're watching Jstew Productions. Just going to do a simple video that people have kind of asked for on the internet. Just a basic bolt maintenance, like after a day of play or however long an interval you want to wait to lube your marker. It's really up to you. They do have a actual setting on the board that actually is a timer or a shot counter to remind you. But if you just want to do it after every day of play like I do, just from habit, this is how you do it. It's very simple. So we're just gonna move this out of the way right here, and then we're just gonna bring her in a little bit here. Get you guys a close up. All right, it's simple. Comes apart right here. Sometimes it can be pesky to break apart, but not difficult at all. And you see, it'll come apart right here. And then you can actually take it apart right here to lube your spring. Or you have the spring portion here that'll come out. And there's that. There's your spring. Now I don't even believe you'll have to go this far every time you lube it, but I'm gonna do it just for the sake of it. Very simple. I would take this front O-ring off before you slide that across, because I don't believe, yeah. Let me just see if I can get this front O-ring off. Get all the lube off of it. Like I say, just you want to get all the excess lube, older lube off of it. And then honestly, I think you can just, yeah, you can just go over that. Like I say, I think it's recommended you take that off, the front O-ring off right here. This will usually be your dirtiest one, and these will usually be your dirtiest, just because these are all, this is the most dynamic O-ring pretty much in the whole system. If there's a problem with your marker ever, just refer to it as it's probably this O-ring right here. So we'll just clean that off real quick. Put that there. Get all the excess lube. I've still been just playing with factory lube on this, and I've put 4 cases through it now. And I mean, it actually didn't come like super lubed like most factory lubes come. So that was a nice change. You just wipe off all your pieces. And you see you have basically 4 main pieces here, and it's debatable you even have to go down to this one. I'm just gonna do it for the sake of the video, just to kind of show you all the pieces of this FL21 bolt. I like to start from the back forward, so you just take your factory lube. You can use any form of dial 33, but I mean, it's always going to be recommended you use the factory lube. Like I say, I just take a little bit, dab a little bit, spread it around. Like I say, you're not going to need a ton here. These are more, I would say, a lighter coat. Get a little more. Dab all of these O-rings down, and then just spread it around. Like I say, with these spool valve guns, you don't need to cake lube on here, nor for any gun for that matter. Nothing needs to be caked on. Like I say, if every O-ring is correct and okay in this gun, it'll seal up without lube at all. Now, does that mean run it without lube? No, by no means, but if everything is correct, it should seal correctly without any sort of lube. So, and then all you're gonna do is take this, put that over your spring, press it down, and then turn. Oh, it's tough. It's a toughie. Let me see here. You know, you might actually need the can on. We'll see. You might actually need the can on. Alright, we'll try that first. But yeah, this is lubed. This is the first time I've taken this apart, and I'm just showing you how easy this is. I didn't read a manual or anything. This is just pretty basic. We'll go with our main bolt. This is the only O-ring that I actually put, you know, a decent amount on. Make sure that's kind of heavily coated. Not, like I say, not super caked on, but definitely a little heavier coat than you put on everything else, because this is what's gonna basically like unlube the fastest, I suppose. So mainly that. Very light amount on the bolt tip, because if you put too much on the bolt tip, this bolt tip will get really dirty with oil and everything else that, you know, dirt debris that your gun either picks up or you get from paint or anything. And I like to just put a little bit, you know, in the back, just a little excess on my finger, because it is, you know, a dynamic kind of seal. Alright, and then we will go to this main can right here. Like I say, just dab a few. These are going to be static O-rings, they're not moving, so you'll be fine there. You just got to be sure you get the orange one in here, and then there's a brown one in the back right there. You want to be sure you get those. Those are going to be your most important. Again, they're dynamic, but they're not dynamic, they're static, but that's O-rings that, you know, this bolt that always moves through. So you always want to have this nicely lubed up. And then this piece will actually go on this piece just as such from the top. There we are. Just as such. Simple as that. And then your last piece will be like your can right here, your keg, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's a technical dye term because MacDev has the word keg, and cans used for clips. I don't know. Everyone's got to have their own little deal for different parts. You know, just dab these up. Got your orange one in the middle here, and that's the only one. Use the excess. I usually get the inside here just to keep it. You don't want it running dry. And then we'll just put this back over the bolt. Like I say, it'll go over that front O-ring. You know, probably recommend to take that off, but it's working fine right now. And then this piece will just basically go back onto this. You'll screw that together. See that? It all works like that. Take your half of the spring on it, press it down to that, to the threads right here, and just get a nice tight seal. Perfect. Like I say, you shouldn't see any kind of extra white or anything, you know, on the bolt, like it comes sort of factory lubed. Get a little bit for these back too, just to be sure it slides out easier. Get these back two right here. Just like I say, a light dab. A little goes a long way. That goes for anything in life. Like I say. And then how I used to tell is I would flick test it. Like if I actually take it and flick it, it comes out. These are still like brand new O-rings. When you break in the bolt a lot more, it'll flick out a lot more, but just for right now, you know, a good flick, and if it comes out, you should be good. And you'll hear like a light sound when you press the bolt in. You'll hear the air from where it's, you know, basically sealing. So, all right. And then once you're done with that, it's simple as putting it back in your marker. I always gently do this because if you don't know, there is like some internal like, you know, milling. It's like it seems unfinished in here, but supposedly it's, you know, it all has a purpose according to dye, so not a big deal. We'll just put this bolt back in. I always like to gently kind of wiggle it in, not force it. There we go. That's what she said. And that's all there is to it. I mean, we can air it up now, put a tank on it. We can put a tank on her, air it up, make sure you get it over that little lip right there, and boom, it's all good to go. Turns on just fine. Flip that around for you. Turns on just fine. Do that. I usually cycle mine a few times. And it's good. So, like I say, and that's the basic lubing of, you know, the FL21 bolt. Very easy. Very, very easy. And that's all there is to it. Thank you guys.